This topic is about how people choose their careers. And I put it in the book because I think it's important to realise that there's all sorts of different ways to get into a career. And there's no right way and there's no wrong way. There's just different ways. And what has worked for someone else may work for you as a pathway, or it may not. And I think that's a really important thing to notice. You're going to know people who are really, really happy in their jobs and careers, adults, and you're going to know people who are really dissatisfied and perhaps have never been happy in their jobs. And I think it's really useful to perhaps find out from them some of the things they've done and some of the things they haven't done, perhaps. If they're happy and satisfied in their jobs, what have they done? How did they get there? Did they get it right first time? Did they go leave school, get straight into that job and stay there? Or did it take some mucking around and trial and error and creating new opportunities? Bear in mind their experience may or may not be relevant to you. They might be a completely different person to you. They might have completely different needs. They might have different hopes. They might have different aspirations. They might have different fears, different comfort zones. There's all sorts of factors that can affect how somebody's experience relates to you and whether or not it might be relevant to you. So that's important to bear in mind when you're going about your research of asking other people perhaps what they've done and what worked for them and perhaps what didn't work for them. It's also important to realise that for some people, a career isn't that important. They just go from job to job, or maybe they've just stayed in the same job for a long time, and that's just fine. However, if you want a meaningful and satisfying career for you, chances are you're going to have to do a little bit of groundwork to build up to that, and maybe a little bit of exploration and looking around and taking some time to build that career over time. So it can be done, obviously. Lots and lots of people do it, and some people never ever get there at all. So really think about what you want, how much headspace you're willing to invest in this, what opportunities can you create, and ask the people who've gone before you about their experiences, whilst bearing in mind what I said at the beginning. What is relevant from their experience that you can perhaps learn from, and what maybe isn't quite so important for you to take on board.